Pick up another you call in the parking lot in Tucson. Are you with me? You're saying what do we go? I pull up like Jimmy Neutron. Then you can get a new phone. Like you how and I know we need to go slow, but we could go faster. Let me the path.
Good morning. Child. Hold on. Good morning. Listen, I know y'all seen that girl out of jail. We gonna talk about that this afternoon when we react to her stuff. Right now, we gonna react to Inyala Vanzant today. I'm gonna wait with someone who could help her since she's out and nothing has motherfucking changed. So Inyala sat down with Carlos King, and she was discussing about how things work for her, how she reached $1 million, how, certain ways that she grew up and stuff like that. And she also, it's a short interview, she was saying how you can sustain yourself and things of that nature. So we're going to watch her react to that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep going with our reactions for today. And then we're going to talk about Miss Thing. So let's share the screen. She talks about DMX and Whitney Houston and all of those people. So let's go.
Okay. No, I'm patting myself because I am in the presence of royalty. She does not know this, but I was 16 years old when I was first introduced to this woman because as a 16-year-old, I would watch endless of hours of the Oprah Winfrey talk show that would come on every day at 4:00 p.m. on Channel 7 in Detroit, Michigan. And this beautiful Black woman was giving this amazing advice. And I was a student and I was 16. So 30 years later, I still consider myself to be a student of this woman. So I am blessed to be in the presence of someone who I consider to be one of the professors of, talk show hosts. Ladies, gentlemen, gays and days, give it up for the Inyala Vanzant.
Thank you. Why'd you have to put that 30 years in there?
I need the world
to talk dirty.
Not dirty. I need the world to know that you aren't new to this. You are true to this. And when I say true to this, you are true to the philosophy of helping people. And I'm serious when I say I remember watching episodes of you not only sharing the stage with Miss Winfrey, you literally being in the audience and you talking to the people, you're of the people, and your method changed me. You gave so much wisdom, and the beauty of your method, Miss Vanzant, was you never talked down to people and you always met people where they were at. And here I am sitting across from you. So the 16-year-old.
Miss Inyala, can you fix a mom of 5 going on 6 life? She does need it. She hasn't learned nothing. Before you do, I would love to come with you. I know you have a lot of self-control. I would love to sit with you and help you. I would. I would.
Carlos King.
Yeah.
Okay. You have no idea what that means to that teenage boy
Now,
who studied you and marveled at you. And I'm just grateful and thankful that you decided to say yes to us having a chat about your newest project, but just about the wisdom of the world you operate in.
Thank you so much. I sometimes forget how long I've been doing this. So thank God for consistency.
Mhm.
Thank God for commitment.
Mhm.
Things that people don't really embrace so well today, whether in their relationships or their vision or their life, consistency and commitment.
And that's something you have been doing for so long, because even as we get into the latest on Ms. Winfrey's network, the world knows this. Some of them do, but back in 2010, when Ms. Winfrey had the final season of her talk show, I was blessed to be one of the people that she hired to follow her last season 25. And it
Right.
was the first show that launched the Oprah Winfrey Network. And I remember you being a guest that season, and it was a powerful conversation that you and Ms. Winfrey had.
Listen, Oprah Winfrey had her show from the 80s till the 2010. That is a very long time. That's when she started the Oprah Winfrey Network. He had, if I'm not mistaken, he was production on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then he pivoted his show over years, like a couple of to own network, which he has Loving Man Huntsville franchise, and he's been doing good. He's had Bell Collective, which I'm so excited for the new season. He's been doing his thing. So I mean, he knows when I said that Bravo set up Angel, he knows how Bravo production is now. And he tells people that. And even Cynthia saying, yeah, production does say, he tells people that because he knows how Bravo worked with the how Bravo worked with like trying to get the ratings up. Yes, Angel planned that trip, but then again, you got to think about it. And then I want y'all to look at the credits from now on. Look who names are in them credits. They got credits on that show. I'll let y'all figure that out.
Just about, well, I thought this, well, I thought that, well, I did this. And it was a great conversation about just like misunderstanding and forgiveness. And I bring that up to say, where you are in your life right now, as we see where the world is, talk to us about as right?
As my face shows.
Yes, talk to me about the power of forgiveness, especially as we tap into your latest airing on January 17th on OWN.
Well, it's not only about forgiveness. I think that that particular episode, which was actually 2 episodes, it's about how to have a clean, clear, complete conversation. And I'm not real sure that people have conversations today. They talk about each other. Mm-hmm. They talk to each other. Mm-hmm. Do they speak with each other? Mm-hmm. And so we had a clear, clean, complete conversation. And if you remember, when I first walked down on the stage and I sat down, I asked Lady O, that's what I call her, mm-hmm. Miss O, for her forgiveness. And she said there's nothing to forgive. But we still needed to have the conversation to clear the underbelly. What she thought, what I thought, and we went back and forth for hours before she said, I got it. I got it. And truly the issue was mine. She had her part, but that wasn't my business. My business was my part. And my part was an issue of unworthiness. Where there was a part of me that still didn't feel worthy, that I deserved what she had given me. So here, the number one ranking woman in daytime television gives you an audience. And what do? You blow it up. And many of us do that. Many of us are doing that today, blowing our lives up with the choices we're making or not making, the things that we're supporting or not supporting, the things that we tell ourselves. We're blowing our lives up. And so when it comes to forgiveness, I think folk who are in difficulty, suffering, struggle, what do you need to say and to whom? Get that set.
Mm-hmm.
And then forgive yourself. Don't worry about forgiving other people. Yeah.
I've always wanted to ask you this question because it's something that I am currently going through.
Oh, goody. Gossip.
Inyala. Okay. No. And it reminded me of that conversation that you and Lady O had, where you did talk about the fact that, you know, you had the main stage, and I remember Ms. Winfrey saying, I gave you my stage.
I know, right?
Like, I gave you my
What
stage.
did you think that was?
What did you think that
was? Yeah.
And I remember, you know, so Barbara Walters approached you to do a talk show, and you felt like, well, I got this opportunity now. And Ms. Winfrey was saying, we were getting there, but there needed to be some development. And you talked about this now, about the worthiness. Talk to us about imposter syndrome. Because one of the things that happens to people, and I do want to apply race to it just for the sake of this conversation, because I do feel like when it comes to Black people who are the first generation of being successful in their families, we don't oftentimes, like our white counterparts, where they have legacy of white successful parents, we don't have the education of someone teaching us the way to go about handling the fortune that God has designed for you, and whether or not you feel like you're worthy of it. And sometimes when you have the opportunity, it falls through your fingertips because sometimes you don't feel like you're worthy of it. And then you oftentimes do feel like you're owed more. So talk to us about that, because it's something that I feel like is so relatable when it comes to your story. Because when I look at you, and I've always felt this way for 30 years,
I feel like a lot of people, the Black community, and I'm finna say it, and a lot of people don't like it, you can't hit being a billionaire. You can't hit that status because they don't talk about it or put it that way. You have to stay low. You have to be looked at. You got to be broke. You got to be looked at. Oh, you can't look like this. You can't have that. Why you got it? That's how I always saw it. Or if you do have it and you hit it, you're serving the devil. It's not looked at as, okay, it's child. Whew. And then when you realize, when I did a whole thing on Threads, me and another woman, of Black women and Black people who reached billionaire, millionaire status, their mouths had dropped. They don't want you to be looked like this is what you can have, because if your grandma was a housekeeper, there are people who want you to stay being a housekeeper. Or if your grandmother lived in a shack with your granddaddy and she worked on the farm, and you didn't have much, you're not supposed to go that far to have much. It's very uneducational. That's how people think.
years, I think you are the I and the T. And I think you are one of one. And I think you are the sheer definition of a woman who was meant for everything you've attained, and you're meant for so much more, even today.
Well, you got about 5 questions in there. Imposter syndrome, unworthiness, the one who made it out. The one who made it out, baby. I was the one who made it out. And speaking to usins, let us first understand that we are a communal people. Mm-hmm. Very real. I know growing up for me, I didn't even have a name. I was Horace's sister, Mr. Horace's daughter, you know. So when somebody say, well, what's your name? Oh, that's so-and-so's people. That's such and such. It's genetic for us. It's cellular. So when one of us makes it out, whether it's the job or the money or whatever it is, we have an internal thing that happens that we got to drag everybody with us.
Yeah.
We got to bring everybody along. We got to go back and give and give and give and give and give and give. And so that has kind of a dual thing. Number one, we're feeling that, but those back there sometimes feel entitled to our success, our money, our whatever it is, which then sets up for us a level of resentment inside. You know, I'm glad to give this to you all, but, you know, come on, let's do this together. And I think where the imposter syndrome comes in is in us pulling others along, and they still need that. We're almost wondering, well, am I still that? Is that still me? And if I'm here, how come I still have to carry that? You know? And no disrespect, because none of this is conscious. You know that. Nobody's sitting around thinking, why do I have to be bothered with these people them?
Right.
But when they call for more money, you do get a little itchy. Also, when it happens very quickly, we see this over and over and over. When it happens very quickly, and we're not really grounded in the vision of it, the purpose of it, and success happens really quickly, you do feel kind of like an imposter. Like, do I really deserve this? Did I really get this? Is this some kind of fluke, and what's going to happen? And so it's hard. And then being the one that made it out, for me, I didn't have anywhere to look to see how to do this. Nowhere. My grandmother was a domestic. My father was a number runner. My uncle was a bootlegger. Okay. My aunt was a stay-at-home wife who kept children in the basement for $10 a week.
Damn.
Where am I looking at how to be a New York Times bestselling author? Where am I looking at how to have more money in the bank than bills? Where am I looking? Okay. So I was a millionaire and still broke, because I grew up thinking you've got to be out of money to get money. The day before payday, you eating whatever you can scrape together, making $1 million and still broke because of the consciousness. All of this is unconscious. So how can I be making $1 million and still be broke? Imposter. Because the universe will conspire with your most dominant thought. The universe will conspire to make it true. So all of that, I think I've lost track of your questions. But
no, so how do you get out of that? Because one thing that you said 30 years ago that I still tell my family and friends and myself today is never say you're broke. Right. Say you are temporarily out of cash.
Yeah, but we don't even have to be that anymore. We just have to be in the flow. And to stop doubting our worthiness. Here's two things. Let me say two things.
All right, Raindrops. As you all know, I am a huge fan of Destiny's Child, who are one of the biggest girl groups of all time. So check this out, Atlanta, Georgia. They are bringing the Destiny's Child reimagined tribute to your city. The music that defined a generation will be reimagined under candlelight. All right. So if you love Say My Name, Survivor, Bootylicious, Independent Woman, that's my favorite song, then this night is just for you. Remember, you did not just hear these songs, you lived them. Now, experiencing them, okay, in an intimate candlelit concert that brings back every memory. Get your tickets, okay? Live musicians, candlelit atmosphere, nostalgia, emotion, all of those things will be happening in Atlanta on January 16th, okay? There's two shows happening, one at 6:30 and one at 8:30 p.m. So make sure to go to Destiny's Child.
Forward. Most of us get into the doing, and we can't do enough. You can't do enough fast enough to really sustain yourself if you can't see it. The other thing is purpose. My success has been because I've always been on purpose. I'm very clear. And I have to credit Dennis Kimbrough, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, who inherited Napoleon Hill's manuscripts. And Dr. Kimbrough wrote Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice. 35 years ago, I saw him in the Washington Convention Center right after I wrote Acts of Faith. And he said to me, Inyala, specialize. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Do you. This was before it was a t-shirt. Do you. What is it that you can do that nobody else is doing that will serve other people in a way that nobody else can serve him? He said, figure out, are you a writer who teaches or a teacher who writes? in the hallway of the Washington Convention Center. That thing stuck in my soul. That's what wisdom is. That's what mentorship is. That's what eldership is. And I said, am I a writer who teaches or a teacher who writes? I'm a teacher who writes. I'm not a writer. I've authored 20 books because I wrote the curriculum of what I was teaching.
Mm.
And I'm real clear that my purpose is to teach universal law and spiritual principle. That's what I do. Now, I dress it up and I twist it and I make fun and all of these things, but I teach universal law and spiritual principle.
Mm.
And you teach us how to fix ourselves because, listen, when Inyala Fix My Life happened, and here we are celebrating your news coming on January 17th on OWN, I remember watching the first episode. And I do wonder if you're comfortable accepting this. Okay.
Oh, I'm worthy now. Please lay it on me.
About worthiness. Because you and I were recently in Los Angeles celebrating the network and the success of our shows. And the president, Tina Perry, gave you a very special shout out and rightfully gave you the credit to launching the Unscripted platform on the network. And the show that I created, Love and Marriage Huntsville, we were coming on after you. You were our lead-in. And your audience, thankfully, stay tuned to watch Huntsville, which is why we're able to celebrate our show too. But do you receive the fact that you having Inyala Fix My Life set up this network to be successful in the unscripted place?
I do. I absolutely do, because that's my purpose. Not Inyala did it, but God used me to do it for a network owned by a woman whose grandmother washed clothes for white folk. Okay? I don't watch anymore only because I have my 8-year-old great-grandson, and Saturday nights is a whole nother thing for us. Okay, so at 9 o'clock Saturday, I haven't watched it. I watched the first 2 seasons. That's how I knew who you were. But, this is about how God's source creator can use me and you and Tina to support Miss Sophie's life. Miss Sophie washed clothes, Oprah Winfrey's grandmother, and told her, maybe one day you'll get you a job for some good white folk too.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Sophie's vision.
I read Beyonce mom's book, and that is so. I remember in the book. This is just a side note. I want y'all to go read it. That book is great. It explains Miss Tina, and she said her mother told her, you can get married and sew clothes like me. You can get married and do alterations like me. And Miss Tina was like, I don't want to just do that. I want to do something else. Miss Tina knew how to sew because of her mom, right? And look what she did. Designs and all. Look at her now. Like, she didn't just want to just sew clothes and be married. And she was out here starting at 5 in the morning. Some days 24 hours. And with Oprah Winfrey, when you in her life where her grandmother washed clothes, she didn't know, what I'm saying? And she wanted to do this. She started in journalism, learned from other people, learned behind the scenes, and then went to production, then went to her own company. She'll tell you, I don't, certain things I hear all the time. She was like, I don't make phone calls for people. They do. But now they want her to make the phone calls. And sometimes your parents want you to be one thing and you're not meant to do that. Your purpose is to do something else. And that's what she's saying. And that's true. Many of us, some people, listen, my family wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer. They did. Like, that's just what it was.
For Oprah was that she could wash clothes for white folk. And look what she did. She took that acknowledgement, that affirmation, that edification, which was the highest that her grandmother could give her, and turned it into a television network. And here I am, a Black woman, daughter of a woman who scrubbed floors and cooked for white folk. And this is not a knock against white folk. I want the white folk to watch OWN too. I'm just saying, as a cultural custodian, which is what I am, which is what you are, using your craft and your creative ability to elevate culture, people, community. As a cultural custodian, My loyalty, my commitment is to own a television network owned by a woman whose grandmother washed clothes. Oh, yeah. Yes, I can receive that. That God saw the excellence in me, in my work, my commitment to my work as a vehicle and vessel to lift Miss Sophie's granddaughter. Oh, yeah, I can receive that.
I'm glad you can, because I wanted to give you your much needed flowers with that. Not that you needed it, but I wanted to make sure that I said that as well, because listen, you were able to help launch, like you said, I'm a student of the work that you laid out, right? And we were all able to benefit from that. And as we are looking at the legacy in which you led, you had so many episodes of helping so many people. One of the people that I personally had a conversation with, a gentleman, excuse me, by the name of DMX.
Oh, yeah.
Before he passed away, I was going to do a TV project with him. I had a meeting with John Sinclair.
Okay.
Who helped launch Inyala Fix My Life, who was an executive at the time at OWN. And DMX wanted to have another conversation with you. And unfortunately, he passed away. But
no, I said no.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why.
I remember. Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. Tell the truth. Shame the devil.
Yes.
When he came out of God's Vacation Retreat Center, AKA prison, I say, where you retreat to the center of your being to find God. And he was coming out and he wanted to have another conversation with me. If you remember, our first show ended with me saying, you will never get the opportunity to speak to me like that again. And I forgave myself for that. But when he came out, I said, but I don't want to do this for a show. I want to know if he's ready to do the work.
You asked me that.
And so I created this document for him to fill out, share with me where you are. And he couldn't do it. And I said, okay, so he wants to do a show. I don't do shows. Because Fix My Life wasn't a show. Fix My Life was my ministry. That's what I did. And that was my purpose. That's what I did in service to God. So that's why we didn't do that second conversation, because he wasn't ready.
And when you heard about his passing, and what occurred with, the unfortunate overdose,
I knew it was coming. I told him in the studio when we did his show, I gave him 1 year. It took 3. Because we live in a society today, and I know you know this, and I know you see it, and that's why I wrote Spiritual Hygiene, and that's why I'm doing the Inside Fix. We live in a society today that will accommodate your crazy. We live in a society that almost encourages us to enable people to remain dysfunctional. We see you doing something, I have a saying that one of my students taught me, don't let me die. Don't let me die. If you see me engrossed in my crazy, if you see me celebrating my dysfunction, if you see me falling apart, don't bring me drinks and fruit. Help me, stop me, take me somewhere. Pow my butt, pour some cold water, something. People will watch you die. People watched him die. Prince, Michael Jackson, DMX, Phyllis Hyman. People will watch you die if your dysfunction is profitable for them.
She not lying.
R. Kelly. If it's profitable, they'll participate. Don't let me die. Carlos.
I'm mesmerized by that.
All a thing. And the social media, people are making money watching us kill ourselves, watching us die.
Paul, when I said that about Krishan, she didn't. No, look at her. She's not dying, but at the same time, what she was building and what she was supposed to do, she is sliding and slipping and sliding and help. And people are sitting here like, yeah, just like with Olivia. She's Jasmine, sliding, slipping and help. And all them people sitting over there like, girl. Oh my God, I love you so much. Cuss them out. Tell them. Yes. It's a point where you can cuss them out and tell them because you have been giving yourself to people. But to continue to sit here and go through toxicity and keep a pattern, and keep it going. And you got people sitting here telling you and praising you is a problem. It's a problem. Like now, Nicki Minaj showed up with a broken nail. They ain't even know in one hand. Anybody effort with her like that? But people have let Nicki Minaj sit in her ego and let her be who she is for so long. Now, oh my God. Yes, you created this. We've been said that. When she came out, she was the only female putting out stuff. They were putting it out, but she was pushing it out. Y'all ate it up when she cussed out Little Kim. Ate it up when she got here to these legends. Now she's sitting here and it's really showing something is wrong. And y'all are sitting here, majority of y'all camping in the chaos, but the rest of y'all are sitting here like, oh my God. We've been said it. She's killing her legacy. What does Papa Bear have to stand on? Coming from a country, you should be standing up for people like Rihanna. Her kids got something to stand on. She's not effing up her legacy. Nicki is.
You know, they prostitute our pain and call it reality television. And that's not what Fix My Life did. That's not what Huntsville does. There's many of them out there that aren't doing that, but there's a lot of them that are. And we're clapping and watching it. No.
Baddies.
So my commitment is to, God has given me this platform and the opportunity to do ministry. Fix My Life, I did the work. The inside fix, I'm giving you what you need to do it. Because this society has taught us to be codependent. We are waiting on somebody else to save us. Did you know that?
Yes. Yes, because the thing is this, when you are in a position of perceived power, perceived, right? For example, when it comes to me, people think like, oh, give me on TV. It's like, baby, there's there's so many steps that takes. But the reason why I say perceived power is because it's the perception of what some people have when it comes to seeing someone like you or me on television, and the perception that we can easily fix your life by giving you
what you
the
want,
heart of your desire.
right, as opposed to you doing the work to get it.
Yes.
I've been refined by fire, baby. My pubic hair got singed. I didn't win nothing. I have been refined in the fire. Hear me? You know, on my knees, scratched my knees, broke my nails. Yes, I was on television, but the work was required to do that. I buried 2 of my children. What? Oh, you want to be like me? How about that? How many kids you got? How many do you think you can go through and put them in the hole in the ground? You want to be like me? Be that 9. Be abandoned at 2. Go ahead. Come on, let's do it. I've been refined by the fire. But like you said, people will see that and think that because you're in place, let's go back to the one who makes it out. Because you're in place and you have access, that now you are obligated to give, to share. So Fix My Life was a giving and a sharing, where I went down and I pulled people up. Inside Fixes, I'm standing up here and I'm saying, come on, baby. This is how you do it. Come on. That's what the inside fix is.
How do you go from telling somebody you're not obligated to fix them because you are the one who made it out, without hurting their feelings or ruining the relationship? This could be a sibling, a parent, a cousin, a best friend. When they look at you and say, you made it out and it's your job to go back there and pull me in.
No. That was 20th century. That was Piscean era. We in the 21st century and in the Aquarian age, baby. Everybody's got the power. And that's what spiritual hygiene is about. That's what the inside fix is about. It's about helping people remember what they forgot they knew. People forgot that they're divine because this country, this society has made us so codependent and dysfunctional. People have forgotten that they are connected to the source of everything. I don't have any more brain than you, any more heart than you, any more blood cells. I don't have any more. We all have the same thing. We all came from the same place. A sperm met an egg, went up, did the thing, boop, bop, and we're here. Everybody got here the same way. Even if they got started in the little test tube, they still had to come out of hoo-ha to get here. Okay.
Facts.
Okay.
Yes.
And everybody going out of here the same way. You're going to exhale. You're not going to inhale. Done. Bye. People have forgotten who they are. because our insides are broken. Not because we're not accomplished, not because we don't have degrees, not because we don't have money. Some of the people with the money, the craziest ones out here. I won't mention any names.
What's the initials?
You know, but, and the things that people are doing for money, destroying their insides, destroying other people for money. So for me, the inside fix is about self-awareness, self-honesty, giving yourself permission to grieve your errors, your mistakes, not blaming other people, and really remembering who you are so that we can grow from the inside out, because trying to get it from the outside in is killing us. We're dying. You know how many people right now, their hair's on fire because they lost their good government job. But of course, we were told, get a good government job.
Mm-hmm.
Go get a high school, get you a good government job. And look what happened. And in that process of being dependent on the good government job, we forgot who we were. We forgot who our ancestors were. Our ancestors built this. If I wasn't a highly, profoundly spiritual person, I would say our ancestors built this shit. But since I'm highly spiritual, I will say that.
Ms. Vanzant, when you look at the hundreds of episodes you've done,
she ain't lying. I mean, hell, shit. They built this shit. I keep telling y'all that. She ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. They built this, okay? They'll be like, what y'all tap dancing for? Excuse me? They should be trying to get y'all. Y'all shouldn't be going to them. Yes, girl. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it, girl. We gonna talk about it.
Is there any subject?
Listen, nothing has changed. It has it changed? Still ignorant. Still saying dumb stuff. Nothing has changed. Nothing. That's all right. I got something.
That
just in case
you look at a person who you try to fix that haunts you today that you weren't able to have a breakthrough with.
No. And I'll tell you why. Because it was God's work. Everything I did, I prayed about. Mm-hmm. Everything I did, I asked for guidance. I didn't make it up. You know, I used to drive my producers crazy because they want to do this, and I'm like, we can't do that. You know, belly to the ground, speak into the hole. All kind of just, you know.
You told Hazel E to read the lyrics and tell Harriet Tubman and Rosa Parks, pop my butt. That is viral on social media.
I know. Y'all remember that? Pop my butt, pop, pop. She said, say it to Harriet Tubman. Pop my butt, pop, pop. Oh God, forgive me. What you think pop my butt would have meant to Harriet Tubman? Hazel E still the same. Now she out here getting called a golden retriever, dissing Blueface, saying he ain't nobody. Now is quite, girl, have you not learned anything at all? You are in your 40s, girl. You should be kicking your legs up, dating, getting ready to meet somebody to be your husband. Leave them young men alone. Be your husband. Sitting here talking about him, making sure he can pop your butt when ain't nobody home now. Taking you out to eat, not calling you a goddamn golden retriever and you shaking your butt with your titties out. Girl, still she ain't learned a damn thing. It's pop my butt.
Hazel E, I don't know if she listened, but you tried.
Yeah, well, no, she did very well. Hazel is doing okay. You know, talking to Evelyn Lozada and challenging her about not telling the truth, and then
listen. When I ain't gonna lie, when she talked to Evelyn and challenged her not to tell the truth, I don't know why, because ever since then, Evelyn can't shut up. Evelyn has been really telling the truth. Like, if this is how they really feel, yes, trust me.
2 weeks later, she had to break down and had to come back around. I feel good about Now, there are shows that I would do differently today.
What comes to mind? Which one?
Sasha the Diva out of Atlanta.
Mm.
Yeah, I would do that differently because in that show, I gave her and her husband and her son a commitment, agreement, and they were supposed to live up to it. If I were to do that show today, again, instead of pulling them up, I would have them create their own commitments as opposed to me giving them to them. I would want them to create their own commitments. Another show I think that I would do differently. There's so many. And I don't have dementia, I have depletion. my memory card is full. My memory card is full. So I can't remember all of them.
Okay. Control, Alt, Delete.
Yeah.
Would the Braxtons be on that list for you?
The Braxtons, let me be real clear.
Yeah.
The Braxtons did not do Fix My Life.
Correct.
I did their show.
Right.
So I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay.
Oh.
I just built a budgeting app, Phase 44. Nina just built an app.
We can all build
Wait
apps
a
now.
minute.
There's two pressing
I'm
topics.
gonna tell you what she want to say, and I'm just gonna be honest. Y'all feel like she did that show, and you have to understand now, looking back and looking forward, and you look at what's happening between them, they need a lot of healing. Tamar, I don't know. Tamar looked like she had a lot going on prior to that. Tony is getting her foot in the baby. I'm gonna be the big sister, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, y'all got to figure this out because. And then you got Trina. They need a lot of healing. I told y'all before why I feel like Trina keeps sticking up for that man. And if y'all don't want to believe me, y'all don't got to. But remember Medea say I keep telling y'all, Trina trying to be nice. I believe Trina was giving that man hell. I'm sorry. I don't think she was being nice. He needed her. He did her wrong. Think about, come on now. So she cryptic. I'm just saying, because Trina is a Sag, baby. Y'all really think she could do it from her heart, but think about, she was talking shit. Yeah, now you need me. You got me to wipe your ass. You see what I'm saying? I'm not being funny. I'm just being honest. And I love Trina. I feel like that's what she did.
Topics that I would love for you to share your wisdom when it comes to helping and fixing the lives of people as we celebrate the year 2026.
Mm-hmm.
One of the major things that's occurring right now that's a big topic of conversation is what happens when successful parents are raising entitled kids.
Oh, who, baby?
Because the parents made it out the mud, right? Became successful. And some parents believe that I struggled, so my kids do not. And they give their kids everything they want. And then they wake up one day and their child is 30 and he still lives at home or you're still paying his bills and he's reliant or she's reliant on the parent. Talk to us about that because it seems to be an epidemic that is happening strongly.
Really? In our community?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Because there's this thing about, kids are saying like, you got it, I got it, and why should I struggle? And parents feel like, I don't want my kids to struggle. And I think what's happening is struggling to me growing up means like, you don't know where you're sleeping at night. You don't have clothes on your back. You don't have running hot water. You don't have food to eat. I told my sister, sorry, I'm really telling your business. I told my sisters, your kids are struggling because they get to eat 3 meals a day. They get to take a bath. They have a house to live in. You did it, girl. They're not struggling. However, the extra things you're doing, they don't know what no means. You give them everything they want. And I think you have forgotten the goal, which is they're not struggling. And you are overcompensating for giving them everything because you feel like you should. And the kids don't have any sense of, I have to make it in life myself. so that I'm able to take care of myself. Because mommy's always around the corner putting a little extra money in our Zelle account or Cash App.
Well, I have a chapter in my new book, Spiritual Hygiene, on spiritual hygiene for parenting. Because what you're talking about is bad spiritual hygiene for parents. I'm rich. My kids ain't.
Maybe I need to read that because I'm not rich, but my son don't know what no. He know what no is. And it's getting to the point now where he was like, he feels like, well, you know what, I'll just work for it. He like how I was. If my mama couldn't do it, I would go out and work for it. I would go and work for it. I would sit here. I took a job for the summer at 14 years old. I had to be 14. They wouldn't let me be 12. I was trying at 12. I even said I could sweep some floors. If it was something I want, I was going to get it. I was going to work to get it. I wasn't going to steal it. I was going to work to get it. I was going to figure out what I got to do to work. Okay. And I think I do that now. I have to such and such. If I do this and that, and make sure my stuff paid, make sure my bills paid. Okay, let me do this. I want to be front row seat. I got my front row. When they say when Libras want something, they gonna get it. I'm gonna get what I want. I don't care if I gotta work to get it. I want to be comfortable in my 40s. I'm going to work I don't care if I gotta work to get it. As long as I'm working to get it, to be comfortable where I don't gotta do that no more. I'm gonna do that. I sure am. I'm gonna get that. You're not gonna tell me, oh, no, I'm gonna work for it. I'm gonna work for it. Even if I gotta work a little harder, I'm gonna get that. Because I feel like that belongs to me. Now, if that particular thing don't belong to me and it's something better, I'm gonna get that. If God want me that better, I get that. So my son, like, you know what? I just wait till I get a job. I'm just like, but you can't. It's okay. And so I understand what he's saying. I understand what she's saying. Yeah. Work for what you want. I always say that. And I was that. If my mama couldn't get it, my grandparents couldn't get it, which I mean, I always got what I wanted, but I still want to work for it because I felt like I'll appreciate it more if it come out of my pocket and I work for it. Then, I can say this. I used to feel like I was entitled to buy a new phone every year. Like every time I break the bank, I wouldn't even break the bank. I go buy a new phone. Every time, new phone. I realized when I had my phone for 2 years, I was like, oh my God, I had kept that entitlement. Oh, I got to get the new. And then I was like, I'm going to keep my phone, child. I sat there, kept my phone. And I wanted to try. I started to do this. I started to do other things. Child, hey. Yes. Exactly. I agree. I always say work for it, though. I always say if they learn to work for it, I don't think they should start at the bottom, but I do feel like they should work for it because you're going to have to work for things to have what you need. Excuse me. So that's how I always taught my sons to work for it. Anything you want, work for it. Even if you work and you don't get it right now, just because you don't got it now, don't mean you might not get it later. And watch how it grow. You'll be so surprised. But yeah, I used to be entitled to phones. Every phone that came out, till one day I realized, when I looked up it, I was like, dang, I had that phone for 2 years. I had got an email. It's time to upgrade your phone. For real. Because I was entitled to feel that way. Now I'm like, I'll wait. Clothes, shoes, I'll wait. Because some of that stuff, it's material not the same as it was when we were growing up. Exactly. Yes. You know what? I always say, and a lot of people, you know what's so crazy though? Portia hired her family. And people got mad at that. No, she's doing right because Even she hire people she don't even know. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be. Hire your family or even get them to help them to start their stuff. And now look, her sister got something going on. Everybody got something going on. Cause everybody got something going on. So yeah, I agree. I don't think it's bad at all.
Y'all hear that?
Okay. And I remember, I raised my children in the projects in Brooklyn, and my son, my son had to go to work. He had to go pack groceries. I know kids don't do that anymore, but he had to pack groceries. He had to walk dogs. And I'll never forget one of my neighbors' husbands rolled up on me one day because my son used to walk somebody's dog. And this particular time, he didn't clean up after the dog or whatever it was. So the other neighbor rolled up on me. Why do you have this boy out here working? And he's... And I said, well, first of all, sir, I am an unmarried woman and you are a man. Send your wife to speak to me. What you're saying about your sister, the kids and the thing, if we understood our culture, a lot of the things that we do as parents and as people, we would not do. We would not do. And as a part of our culture, everybody works to contribute to the family, the community. So those kids wouldn't be expecting their mothers to give or fathers to give them anything because their responsibility is to contribute more than the parents did. I cannot tell you the number of friends I have who grew up in Africa, South Africa, West Africa, and they come here and they go to school, and their greatest gift is to put a metal roof on their parents' home. Why you need a metal roof in Africa? You do not need a metal roof in Africa. But it's a sign of contribution to where you came from. So this whole thing about entitlement and about keeping our kids from suffering. Every parent wants to give their children what they didn't have. Every parent tries to keep their children from going through what they went through. But here's the thing that parents forget. Maybe what you went through, what they have to go through is what their soul needs to learn and to heal,
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to be willing to call our children higher, not lift them higher, call them higher. Call them higher is, yes, I'll give you car fare to go to work. And when you get your first check, pay it back.
Pay it back. Pay it back. I think that's good advice.
Yeah, my kids worked. I worked, they worked. Now, when I had an opportunity to employ them, I did. All of my kids have worked for me. My oldest daughter, Jamia, was my COO. My son, my youngest daughter, ran my body therapy company. So yeah, but they worked for their money.
Yeah.
They worked for it.
Yeah.
They didn't just get it, and they didn't have a Zelle. And the beauty for me is, I'm raising my 8-year-old great-grandson since my daughter passed. Her grandson, I'm raising him. And I have an opportunity to do this so different. So different. And I tell myself, oh, Inyala, you are raising somebody's husband and somebody's father. So I teach him, I say, you are a young Black boy. You are a strong Black boy growing into a powerful Black man who's going to do great things in the world. I didn't raise my son like that. I raised my son like, stay out of trouble, keep your head down, don't get no trouble, because that's when, they were cracking Black men's head in the street.
Yeah.
So I had to raise him a certain, I don't have to raise my grandson like that, So we get the opportunity to do it different. I would say to parents, let them fall. Let them hit rock bottom, because God made the rock. If you keep breaking their fall, they will never trust themselves to know that they can get up.
Powerful. That's powerful. That's going to save lives. Okay, one more topic before I let you go, Ms. Vanzant, is the other epidemic that's happening. What we know for sure is that Black women are the largest running entrepreneurs in the world, superseding their white counterparts. Because of that, they are surpassing the men in the wealth gap, the men that they're dating. What's occurring, lady, is there's a lot of Black women who make way more money than men, whether it's their husbands or men that they're dating. and what is occurring as of late.
Can I tell you?
Oh, yes.
That they think that because they make the money that they get to run the show or run the relationship? Were you going to say that?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because one thing you said about the kids that I am going to run home and tell my sister's child and my brother too is the fact that as a mother and father, you're raising your in this case your black son.
Raising somebody's husband and somebody's father.
You are raising someone's husband and father. And for the black women, you don't want to raise your son to be the man that you and your girlfriends talk shit about.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, excuse my language.
I said shit first.
Okay, you did. So I felt comfortable saying it. There we go. Black women who are dating men that make less money than them. And, there seems to be this dynamic that isn't working. Some women are saying the men are jealous of them. The men are saying you're emasculating me. Where do you think the issue is rising in that? Because black women are still out earning men. So something has to give for black men and women to find a commonality.
In the words of the late, great El Hajj Malik Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X, we've been tricked, hoodwinked, bamboozled. We've been tricked, hoodwinked, and bamboozled. Because that thing about you got the money so you get to run it, that's not who we are.
As women.
As black people.
Go ahead now.
We totally out of order. That's not who we are.
I told y'all with Peach. I told y'all with Peach. She emasculates that man. That man, she made that man quit his business so she could take care of that man instead of doing. Man, do you know how far they could have went if she was lacking on anything? That man could have came through and picked up where she left off. Yes, exactly. She let that man quit. And Peach said that man had a detailing car business. She made that man quit to take care of him. And people get mad at me. No, he's supposed to play his part. Do y'all not? I'm finna be honest. I believe he wouldn't cheat if she allowed him to be a man. Let him be out in the streets ain't being a man, meaning let him take care of his household with her as the man. And I guarantee you, every time he try to sit here and say he want to go back and do it, she goes and say, for what? I take care of the family. Wood got to put his foot down, damn it. He got to step up and he got to tell her no. Because if he was doing and kept his business, they wouldn't have had all these evictions. Oh, well, I got to do this. I need help with the kids. They could have worked around that. The kids are old enough. They could have been outside and helping him detail them damn cars. Exactly. What, man? Child.
Because your great-great-great-grandmother may have worked in the kitchen or in the big house so she could put some...
Like they say, what's better than one billionaire? In the words of Jay-Z, did everybody get mad at that? 2. Hello? 2. We both can do this. What? Man, please.
Biscuits or cotton or sugar down in her apron to bring it home to feed hubby and the kids. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Or he may have been out and she may have been out in the field and would share the cotton she picked or the beans that she picked so that everybody could get paid. My point is that we have embraced a culture that has nothing to do with who we are as a people and how we measure our value and our worth nowadays. It has nothing to do with who we are. So yeah, in a male-dominated society where men get to oppress women because they make the money and she stay home barefoot and pregnant. You know, that don't have nothing to do with us because we was barefoot and pregnant in Africa and happy to have that baby so it could go out there and work the fields and do the thing and bring the money home to the community.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you barefoot and pregnant, you less than me. It's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this and I'll probably get hate mail. Just no death threats because I have to raise my great-grandson.
Yes, that's the problem too. And like she say, they like for to be oppressed. Oh, well, you could go have this baby. And I see like they're pushing it now on young kids. And I want y'all to pay attention. And I always say it was never about, oh, well, you got to get married. It was never about none of that. It was a point that they pushing y'all, these kids, to get married at a young age and be barefoot and pregnant. Because of the fact was that if you think about it, they would rather have you sit here and continue to get babies. I was watching something, I'm going to play it after this, where Nikki told her fans, go out and have babies. Remember, this is the same woman that told them to be educated, and if it come to have your education first. She don't even talk about education no more. She's telling y'all to go out and have babies. So she's fitting this narrative for them to push y'all to have babies. Because if you look at the statistics, women are not having children. Even men are starting to become parents in their 40s, late 30s into 40s, than they are in their 20s. Look it up. It's better to get married at that age and have children. They're doing that. When the last time y'all seen teen moms out here? Where you see them churn that majority of them kids? School. College. They want them to be barefoot and pregnant now. And the way the economy is, instead of getting the degree or being in college or finishing school, they're pushing that 18 you can get married. Oh, it's okay, I did it. What? You don't even know who you are. You finna figure it out. Then you got the men that want to sit at home. And the women out here doing it. Then you got the women who saying, you know what? I don't mind sitting at home. But then again, I don't have a life. Child, it's so much.
Don't kill me. You can hate me. You don't have to kill me. What those women are doing, or people, let me not say women, what those people are doing with that, I have the money, I run the roost, you do what I say. Tell me how that's different than the leadership of this country right now.
Especially with the men. I keep saying it. She's saying them people. She say, I ain't going to say women. Them people, I already knew where she was going at. That's true. That's what Peach does. Demasculate. Yeah, let me put him down as my husband. Why? She the one that wanted to put him there. Like the men. Oh, yeah, you just this. Why? It's the same thing. Like y'all see these men that supposed to be in the church and leaders. Yeah. The only thing you should do is shut up and have babies. That's your job. That's what you're good for. The fuck, nigga? Yeah. But it's the way of God. God designed you to be a mom, kiss babies, and shut up and make my food. That's abuse. No, he did not. God didn't just design people like that. That's how I know they don't read their Bibles and they can't comprehend it at all. There's plenty of women in that book that it does not say that. They were doing other things before they got barefoot and pregnant. Okay? There were women in the Egyptian times, and this is why the Greece was upset and mad at them. It was jealous. Because of the fact was that they sat there and they were together. They would help run Egypt. They would help run Africa. Just when I talk about the woman, the Queen of Kush, her husband died. She rented. She had no choice. Like, come on now. Be for real.
How is it different? What's the distinction that we can make between them having the money and the power and emasculating and running and what we see as the leadership of this
That's the
country
problem.
right now? You tell me, what's the distinction? Do you see one?
No.
Oh,
Ted, Charlie, Alex.
That's true too.
Michael! All these things work good together.
I'm gonna tell y'all that I had to talk.
we're out of order.
And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Yeah, they follow religion. They don't follow God. And I'm gonna tell you how I know. For a pastor to come out and say Black churches need to go and be a mixed church, because if you look how Black churches are now telling people the truth, majority of them are now telling people that they are hated. They feel like they're being evil. They have a problem. Y'all got to start understanding when they start targeting the Black community, saying certain things or doing anything to hurt them because they don't want y'all to succeed, like they did with this DEI. We're starting to learn white men ain't working. And Black people are still surviving. They're figuring it out. They can't stand it. They're upset. It's not targeting them. Just like they throwing that woman with the glue on her wig in y'all face. And we got primary in almost less than 30 days. And you got to turn your stuff in to vote May and November. And the gold green card that she supposedly got was not passed by Congress. Yeah. She married low so she can control her household, but he controlling her. Y'all ain't peep game yet. People, real quick.
We're out of order. I'll never forget, and this was when I was, really at the height of my publishing career. Brother asked me out on a date, and he didn't have a car. And I said, okay, how we gonna go? He said, I don't know. I said, well, do you like the bus? So I went out with a brother on the bus. I surely did. Very nice brother. We had a very nice conversation and everything. And, and he said to me at the end of the date, he said, oh, if a woman of your caliber would go out with me, you have really taught me that I need to up my game.
Yep.
He said, I'm forever indebted to you. He said, I cannot believe that a woman of your caliber went out with me on the bus. I said, you know what? It was an authentic date. I'd rather go out with you on the bus than to have you rent a car that you got to turn in, 2 weeks later. Yeah. So we are just out of order, embracing things that have nothing to do with who we are, things that don't feed our souls, things that don't edify our community, things that don't edify our relationships, things.
I ain't gonna lie, Shay know that man. And probably was the safe thing to do was to get on the bus with him and with a lot of people. You don't know that man. Heck yeah. They got CT cameras out. Sure. There's cameras everywhere. Anything that happened. Exactly. Yet to anybody, me, I'm just saying, this is in New York. I say get on the they got cameras and people on here. You know what I'm saying? That's what she wanted, but I people on here. Shoot, I always say this. If you go on a date, always don't travel with them, don't get in the car with them. I'm the type, I don't want nobody to pick me up. My mom always thought I was weird. No, the times we're living in, I would make sure I have a way there and back. I don't want you to think that, you know what I'm saying? You like, no. I'm like, no. I don't care if I don't care if you had to Uber there. Just be there. My thing is this. I'm not jumping on a bus. I'm not jumping in your car. we going separate, because if this don't go how we want it to go, we realize that it, with conversation, we're not right for each other, and we go about our way. That's how I am. Cause folks, you get in the car with folks be tripping. No, girl. I mean, no. I don't know if you're a girl or boy. I'm sorry. Listen, I gotta keep up with y'all stuff on New York. Y'all be lit, but then you gotta be careful. I know, child. I'm gonna start researching with y'all stuff. I used to watch y'all stuff a lot because I see a lot of stuff they go down. I used to watch it. I'm gonna have to go back on YouTube and start watching. But yeah, I don't. I'm gonna take an Uber or taxi by myself. No. I'll meet you there. Hey, listen, dinner at 8, cool. I'm gonna meet you. No. All right, cool. I'm gonna leave at 7:30. I'll see you at 8. You make the hey, listen, he could say reservation at 8, or let's go to the arcade or something at 8. Cool. I'll meet you. I just don't feel comfortable to ride with nobody.
So our mouths as women are just out of order. Out of order.
I gotta get comfortable.
We are just out of order. It's not our fault. It's what we've been taught to emulate. Because where do you look in the world today now that my first lady, Michelle Obama, is no longer in the White House? Where do you look today and see women of color that you can emulate, who aren't being beat up, torn down, talked about, And the ones that we do see, they get eliminated very quickly. We're out of order. And again, I'm going to ask this question again. And like I said, you can hate me, just don't kill me because I have to raise my great-grandson. When you think about the women who behave in that manner, and I don't know who they are, black, white, red, doesn't matter to me, just women in general, who behave in that manner of thinking because they make the money, they run the roost, and they can say anything out of their mouth. This right here, this is a womb. It's a womb. It is always giving birth. So I'm real conscious.
Girl, I heard about that. I seen it because they took child. I got to go into that because I heard about that. I heard about
because I don't want to give birth to mass murderers and and hateful things, and I don't want to give birth. This is a womb in a woman. We've got two, this one and this one.
Yeah,
our mouths are just out of order.
I always say, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, your mouth is the gateway to what you receive. Your mouth is, I always say the tongue is between life and death. There are some women who are out of, or I'd be like, dang, you ain't got to do all that, like the fuck, And then it be some of these men that do the same, like, you ain't got to do all, is it that serious? Like, come on now. Let me smack you around. Smack what? Smack yourself. Like, it's crazy work.
And I don't care if they hate me for that. Because some of the things that I hear women say to each other or about each other, it's violent. Because they're birthing that. So the women who do that, look at the leadership of this country right now. Going for the money, diminishing people who are less than. What's the distinction? One has a hoo-ha, one has a pee-pee.
That's good.
She said,
do you hate the term boss chicks? Boss women?
I don't hate it. I just think it's been misused. Yeah. Because do you want to be a boss or do you want to be a leader? I'm not a boss. I am a leader.
I agree.
I don't want to be a boss. Because bosses are responsible for other people. And I told you, I don't have dementia, but I got dementia. My memory card is full. I don't want to be responsible for nobody but my little 8-year-old. Close your mouth.
You're changing lives. Instead of saying I'm a boss, be a leader. And I think what is sort of slowly happening now is a lot of my girlfriends, because I'm in my 40s, we grew up together, high school, college, interning, production assistants, all those things. They were raised by their mothers and grandmothers and aunties, whatever. Be a boss, right? And all of my girlfriends, Miss Vanzant, all of them, 100% of them, and these are Black women, in their 40s, they woke up and said, wow, I spent all these years being the boss.
My aunties, they always told me to be a leader and always to have your own. If he have his own and you got your own, you're doing great. You're wonderful. Not even just having your own. If y'all respect each other and can have communication and things like that, you're good. They always taught me that you're good. It's not always going to be peachy and cream, but at some point, that's what it is. Have your own, because a man can switch up just like that. Just like now, women can switch up just like that. It's okay to have something for yourself. That's your name on it, nobody else's.
That I don't have a husband.
I'm broke down. I got gout in my feet and tuberculosis in my eye.
And they want this. They want to revert back to like I want a soft life.
Yeah.
I want a man to be the leader of the household. I want to be able to bear children. I want to be a wife. And they feel like I was set up to be this accomplished woman. And I look at my life now and I have nothing to show for it.
Well, because again, we are following a paradigm that is not who we are as a people, particularly usins. And I'm brown and black. I'm brown, red, and black. Black, African American, Latin, and indigenous. And I don't have to go to the DNA to find it. My grandmother was born on the reservation, you know. So we're following a paradigm that has nothing to do with who we are. And we're dying as a result. What is a boss? A boss is responsible for other people and what they think and what they do and boo. I'm not a boss. I'm a leader. And as a leader, I want you to be responsible for yourself so that we can walk a vision out together, so that we can walk a plan out together. I want to be able to support you and you able to support me so that when we get there together. But we following this paradigm of every man for himself when he hits the beach and step over whoever you need to step over and on to get to where you go. And that's not who we are. And this women just using their womb space as a weapon, it's violent. Some of the things I hear women say is violent. It's just violent. And I'm not saying men don't, but as a woman of indigenous and African culture, I'm not going to speak out against a man in public. I will pull him over in the corner because that's
house.
A soft place. I want to be a soft place for him to fall and not a brick upside his head.
Ms. Vanzant, I thank you so much for the honor of this conversation as we start the new year that is going to change lives. And not only are we changing lives in this conversation, Inyala, Inside the Fix.
The Inside
Fix,
yeah.
January 17th.
Am I leading you in? Am I leading Huntsville in again?
Babe, I think we're following you back.
But you know, I have to give props because Sweetie Pies led me in for a long time.
And that's how it works.
Sweetie Pies led me.
Yes.
And then we flipped it and I led them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no, leave me all the days, baby. I need it. Just talk to the audience about the show and why they should watch it.
The Inside Fix. And again, this time I'm giving people the tools that they use. We have created a worksheet for every single episode. So yes, watch the show and get involved with the characters, but then go back and say, okay, how do I do that? Mm-hmm. Where is that in my life? What is it that I need to come up on? What is it I need to release? Every show has a worksheet because I want people to remember what they forgot they knew. Oh, Carlos, we know how to do this. We know how to build civilizations. We know how to take care of each other. I mean, Harriet Tubman, an epileptic, to come back and forth in and out of slavery. She was already free. We know how to do this, but we don't because we've embraced a paradigm and a structure and a culture and a system that doesn't have anything to do with the truth of who we are. So many of us are living a lie. Mm. And what I'm saying is, come on, baby. I'm not coming down there to get you. Come on. You know why? Because I trust you. I have faith in you. I see your greatness. Come on, come on. Don't do that. Come on, come on. The inside fix, because until we fix the inside, the outside is going to stay jacked up.
And make sure y'all watch it. Miss Vanzant, thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end it because I got another reaction to do in 10 minutes. But what she said was not an issue to me. I understand where she's coming from. You got to help each other. At some point, I'll explain it a little later. Sometimes you gotta be, how can I say it? For some men, you can be a helping hand. For some that don't want to change or help, they'll drag you with them. I just say that. Even with women, that's just the same thing. With people, we'll say people, both sets, because that's just like you got a friend that want to drag you in the mess with them because they don't want to go in the mess by themselves. But I can't say this. I know everybody asking me about Olivia. I will be live this afternoon. I'm gonna explain why she got what she has, and I'm gonna explain why she's going to keep going in and out of that jail cell. I will explain it at 4. Did I put 4:30 or 4:15? Let me look at my phone. And I'm going to talk about her. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down for y'all. I don't want nobody to be, like, oh my God, that's not fair. We're going to get into it because y'all know I'm going to break it down and explain it to y'all at 4:30. I'm going to tell you what they're doing. Yeah, we do. And we also have to learn that we got to be cautious of the people we let into. Because I'm starting to learn, no matter the sex, that people just not there yet. Like, they're starting to catch up, but the people that already seen it is starting to catch up, that already called it, they're starting to catch on to what's going on. And there's some separations that's happening because they haven't gotten there yet. And people can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can keep telling somebody, but they still in that mind frame. You got to let them be. And they have to separate yourself. I'm learning that. And it ain't no joke. But yeah, y'all, I'm going to end this live. We're going to talk about Shanice and Evelyn in the game. I want to talk about how preferences isn't preferenceable. I hope I said that right. She never benefited her preference. Thank you. She never benefited her preference of being the chosen baby mama. So I'm going to be back. I want to thank y'all for watching. I'll be back in like 9 minutes. Well, 8 minutes. I'll see you guys at the next one. 8 minutes. I'll be back. Bye.